Hello everybody! Today, if I get this on time, should be December 31st, the last day of 2022. And because of that, it is time to talk about how was the great medium of entertainment in 2023. And when I say entertainment, to be honest, at this point, I'm thinking anything could go. We can talk about anime. We can talk about manga. I can talk about how I still haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Awesome.
But I've got Jaden here with me, and me and him are going to go through how was anime and manga in 2022. Jaden is way more on the anime side, right?
Yeah.
He watches a bunch more stuff than I do. Really, what I've seen mainly has come out of the fall season here, right? And I've seen a few other things that aired this year. And besides that, I'm much more on the manga side. I know a lot about what happens in all of your favorite series, right?
Cool.
So yeah, I'd say we just hop into this and I'd say we go back and forth. You highlight something, I'll highlight something, and we just keep going until we don't have anything else to highlight.
So this was a very, very strong season this year.
Yes, this entire year, it was very interesting.
Yeah.
We started off the year with not a whole lot going on. We had about one or two highlight, if we're talking about anime, highlight shows in every season. Yeah. And eventually it sort of progressed and you found a few hidden gems. But then you had this last fall season, which was insane. We've had so much stuff here, as we'll get into. And if you've been keeping up with this channel, you obviously know about it, right? Along with a bunch of other manga has been really getting stronger and building throughout this entire year to become really good. It's been a really interesting year for the medium.
Yeah. So I'll start off with this. In 2021, late December, we had Attack on Titan Part 2. We had Demon Slayer Entertainment District and My Dress Up Darling all competing for the top spot.
So out of this, I've read all of Demon Slayer. I still haven't watched the second season, right? So I can't atone to how good that was, and I've never cared about Attack on Titan. I've never even given it a chance, so I don't know about that. I feel like the thing that we need to talk about here is My Dress Up Darling.
It's really funny. Dress Up Darling top charts a good amount of the weeks. I mean, it really was a 1v1v1.
It beat One Piece.
Yeah.
Right?
My Dress Up Darling was a, just surprise, really good anime. I really enjoyed it personally.
If you want to know more about that, we've got the video on the channel where we went through all of that.
I know Corbin laments about it with his poetry. Where
we went through that hell. That was a fun. If you haven't checked out that video, I think people can do cards and stuff. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know how to do that. I genuinely don't know how to do that. All
right.
So that happened.
So those were the big three for winter, and I watched all three. Attack on Titan was really good as usual. I mean, it's Attack on Titan. That's not Spy Family. I'm looking at something. All right. Demon Slayer. It's amazing. It's Demon Slayer.
I'm guessing it's animation quality is the same.
It's absolute eye candy. I mean, every single, I think it was Sunday night, I would watch Attack on Titan and then put on Demon Slayer. Watching both of those back to back, week after week, and then I binged Dress Up Darling once it all finished coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting thing altogether. So if manga, I'll go through the first little bit of the year. For what I read in Shonen Jump and what I sort of am affiliated with, I'm gonna turn on my phone here, so if there's any clacking here on the screen, oops, but I don't know what to say about that.
My God, there's 25 pages of the anime that came out in 2022. I'm going through all that.
So, the first part of this year in manga, we had, a bunch of things like Akane Banashi started, right? You, of course, haven't heard of this, but it's, a really good manga based on Rakugo. And it's very entertaining, had a great first chapter, and is really built throughout the entire year. Dr. Stone ended its run this year, right? Ending with the 232nd chapter. I was really hoping it would get to 236 for my theory of we're going twice the periodic table, bitches.
Periodic table, yeah.
But it's fine. That really happened, and we've had some really good fights in some shonen series this year. Mashal had the fight with Levis Rose Quartz, which is a really good fight at the beginning of this year. And the whole Domina fight was magnificent, right? But that was really that. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible.
Okay.
What happened in spring of anime?
Spring. All right, here's some big guns. Spy Family and Love is War. Now, Spy Family topped the charts every single week except for the last one, which was the finale of Love is War. Because in the final episode, spoilers, there's more love this time than war. It actually the war finally comes to an end in a sense. And these two also basically aired on the same day. No, they aired right after each other. I'd watch Love is War on Fridays and I'd watch Spy Family on Saturdays. And
yeah, Spy Family Saturdays. I remember that being a massive
if you guys didn't know, Love is War is my favorite series of all time, probably. And it was really good seeing this third season. This third season is probably the strongest season so far.
Again, I can't say anything to that, but what I can say is the insane outburst that Spy Family had. This show saw a resurgence in popular media.
Yeah.
We have friends like Jacob, who I don't think he even knew what this was.
Yeah.
And now from just watching this one season, these first 12 episodes, he owns every piece of merchandise he can get his little grummy hands on.
I mean, I seriously was scrolling Instagram and saw like 1,000 memes about this stupid pink-haired girl with little horns. And then I started watching it.
Twitter was the same way. I mean, it was a mess thing. Granted, I've known about Spy Family for a long time. I actually had read a good portion of the manga before this happened.
And I had never heard about it.
Yeah, and it's pretty good.
Yep. So, summertime was...
No, we're staying in spring.
Oh, we're spring? Okay.
Yeah, anything else happened in spring? Anything interesting?
Those are the only two I have that I've seen personally. I know a few other things came out, like maybe Overlord was... Dr. Stone Ryusui came out.
Yes, it did. Yeah, because that was a one piece of animation. Well, that was summer season, but I don't care. We'll loop it in here. That was a one piece of Dr. Stone animation that came out this year. Dr. Stone has had a really weird trend with its anime.
Yeah. Like, I didn't know you were even supposed to watch it. I thought it was just some extra content. No, it's like actual season story.
First season was, 2019, I think?
Yeah.
Second season was early 2021. And then we've literally had about 18 months with no Dr. Stone content to have Ryusui come out. Granted, it's in that movie special sort of thing, which, to be honest, sort of irks me a little bit. I always prefer, I liked how Demon Slayer did it, how they put the actual content in the episodes.
Yeah. Just
so it's an easier watching experience, and you don't have to sit down and commit yourself to a movie in a way. But that's a really good point. That came out this year. Dr. Stone, of course, we talked about earlier. It ended its run, and having the anime stuff come out, can't wait for it.
I'm not exactly sure if this was spring or summer, but a new movie by MAPPA called Bubble came out, which is about parkour in a post-apocalyptic Tokyo. It's an amazingly animated movie. The story is garbage. It sucks.
Better, worse than Chainsaw Man.
It's worse. But if you just turn off your brain and just watch it, it's like a sensory experience, man. It's really cool to watch.
All right. So going back to mom. Let me turn back on my phone. I'm not sure when this happened, but Fire Force ended this year. Okay. Right? Fire Force had a really good run. I don't know. In Shonen Jump, we had Super Smartphone that started. Shit series. Goodbye Eri happened this year during this time. If you don't know what Goodbye Eri is, it's Tatsuki Fujimoto's next sort of one-shot in a way.
Yep.
Which...
I read it was not good.
I really enjoy it. I think it's really amazing.
But let's be honest here. I've said this many times. There's not a single Tatsuki Fujimoto work that I like, and I'm going to read Fire Punch soon so I can confirm that.
Yes, we will read Fire Punch at some point.
I will read it so I can confirm my suspicions.
Yeah. So that really all happened this year. Have you ever heard of Ruri Dragon?
No.
You haven't? So it was this series that happened in Shonen Jump this year that lasted for, I think it ran 4 chapters, then had 2 more come out over some breaks, and then just stopped.
Yep.
Right? And its first volume sold incredibly well. Do you know how Assassination Classroom's first volume sold?
No.
It was the highest selling first volume ever in Japan.
Really?
I think it was 100,000 copies in its first few days. Nice. Insane. And this series sold really well just for having 6 chapters and coming out of virtually nowhere, right? Ayashimon ended, right? Yuji Kaku's work. He's the same dude who wrote Hell's Paradise, right? I really enjoyed that. Most people didn't. Just Listen to the Song came out. Do you remember this, Jaden?
No.
It's another Tatsuki Fujimoto work. It sort of aired right before the second part of Chainsaw Man came out, and it was this massive thing about, hey, just watch the work and don't go finding conspiracy theories in it.
I think this is the one I haven't read yet. I've read the other one shots.
And it was a really interesting... It's only like 20 pages. It's not long. But it's just a really sort of interesting little piece there that aired before Chainsaw Man came back in its manga form and started its second part.
Yeah.
Or its continuation, in a way. We also had the Dr. Stone special chapter that came out. Terraforming. It was pretty good. And yeah, that's really all I've got to say about what happened in this sort of time for manga. So
summer was dry.
Yeah, there was
nothing coming out. Now,
yeah.
Something that did come out was Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which people love and praise.
I still haven't watched this. I need to sit down and give it a chance because I know that people really love it. And it actually sold Cyberpunk 2077, which if you know video games,
yeah.
you know how that game went down.
So I actually watched this in sub, and I've heard from many people that's honestly that's a disservice to the anime, because it's meant to be watched in dub, so it has that slang and the cyberpunk lingo that you can't really translate into Japanese. Will I rewatch it? Probably not. Actually, I know I won't.
Did you enjoy it at all, though?
It was fine. It was alright.
Mr. Harsh Critic ass over here.
Now, another thing that came out in very late summer, I guess early, well, I don't call it early fall because it was just September, like September 1st. We had JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean Part 2 come out. Another batch of 12 episodes. And these episodes were fine. They were pretty good. That's all about that to say.
For you, it's more JoJo, which you enjoy JoJo, so.
But I mean, besides that, there was hardly anything.
I think at some point this year we had that, Lacroix or Recoil thing come out?
Yeah.
I've heard that's really good, but I haven't really sat down and gave it a chance.
I don't know if it's good or if it's just people watched it because they had nothing else to watch.
I've actually heard it's got a decent story. So,
Alright.
I don't know. I'd say we go into fall anime.
Fall
because there was a shit ton
Fall
here.
had, to be short, Bleach, Chainsaw Man.
Well, no. So it started off with My Hero Academia Season 6. That premiered. It's the continuation of My Hero Academia. Love it or hate it. Animation's been sort of shit, but that's what it is. We had Mob Psycho come back.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Mob Psycho. I need to give it a chance, though, because now I'm pretty sure it is all wrapped up, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is. Spy Family's second part came out.
Yep, Spy Family's second part came out with an even stronger showing than the first season.
I haven't seen too much about Spy Family here, but also we had so many massive titles that came out. We had Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War, or I forget what it was, Sinkin Kissin' Hin or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? It's something like that. That came out. Chainsaw Man premiered.
Bocchi the Rock.
Bocchi the Rock. This show is great. It's great. You need to watch it, Jade.
I may get to it sometime.
It's really good, and it's 12 episodes, and this is a 4-page panel manga series, right? So this adaptation is weird, man.
What Bocchi is?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's a 4-panel short comic.
Okay, so it's similar to We Want to Talk About Kaguya. Okay. I was wondering if that would ever even get an English release. The Kaguya-sama spinoff.
It's really good, though. Bocchi's really good. It's pretty much... Have you ever watched K-On?
No. But
I haven't either, but I know what it is just from being in the sort of circle in a way. And Bocchi the Rock is pretty much a better K-On from what I've heard.
Oh, good.
It's really good.
So yeah, this season was packed. They really put the pedal to the metal.
It really was. Bunch of and at first there was supposed to be a lot more things airing in this season than there actually is.
Really?
Right? Yeah, Jigoku Raku was supposed to air here. Wasn't Attack on Titan supposed to air here at some point?
Maybe, but I think it was always scheduled for later in the year.
I don't know. So yeah, this is a lot of big stuff here. And that was sort of the year in anime.
Yeah.
But I've got one more thing I need to mention. One Piece Film Red came out this year.
Oh yeah, let's talk about films real quick because I have two.
Film Red was amazing in my opinion.
Yep.
I am a fan of One Piece, and Film Red was such a fun experience. The whole musical aspect to it was great, and I really just couldn't top this film.
You know,
This is probably my favorite piece of animation content I watched this year.
in hindsight, if you would have told me that Otto was the main singer for Uta, I would have told you she was going to be the twist villain. You know, she just
What are you talking about?
She has the voice for it.
What are you talking about?
Oh no. Might wanna
It's
bleep
only
that out.
spoilers for
Just bleep that out.
I do. You guys know how to bleep stuff out.
Okay, just cut it out. Whatever.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, it's really good. I really enjoyed One Piece Film Red. It was a masterpiece.
So
Hey, what did you think? Do you remember anything about Film Red in retrospect, being that you were there at the theater?
I remember it was eye candy. It was really cool to watch, and I know it had a lot of fan service. But that's about all I can say for it.
And at one point there were 3 dudes. You only heard 3 dudes in that theater just stood up like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's gay or something or other."
So, something that came out recently was Quintessential Quintuplets. Now, it did come out in May in
It was a
Japan.
movie, right?
Yeah, but it took over 6 months to get here, which was rough. And I watched it, and it was not very good. It kind of ruined Quintessential Quintuplets for me.
I will keep finding it's funny that you were like, "Oh my god, Quintessential Quintuplets is so good." No, it's just shit, man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
And I used to think Nisekoi was relatively bad, and now I actually relatively like it.
Yeah.
And then finally,
JJK Zero came out this year, right?
yeah, I forgot to mention that one. I wasn't even on my list.
Oh.
Jujutsu Kaisen Zero is really good. I liked it.
Yeah, JJK Zero. I never watched it. I've got a reputation with JJK, where I'd say, I think there's one cool fight, and that's it.
So I don't like Jujutsu Kaisen very much either, but you should watch the movie. It's pretty good. It's a very good standalone story.
It's something that I just need to get around to.
Yep.
Do you know the entire story around JJK Zero? How it was actually a prequel manga that
It's-
ran in another magazine.
Basically, yeah, and they
But
made
it-
more of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much whenever Gege Akutami got into Jump, they pretty much based their story off of here, and that is sort of just accepted as the first volume in a
Yeah.
way, right?
And then finally, the Love is War movie just came out in Japan, and it'll be here in the States in February. But considering that I do know what content it covers, it's good.
It's good.
Because I mean, I've read the manga for it, and it covers all of volume 15, just all of volume 15.
Yeah, well, all right.
But that'll do it for me.
Yeah, it's been a really good year altogether, and I mean, in terms of like other things that happened this year in our industries, video games were all right this year, right? But Pokemon came out,
Yep.
right?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah, it was a really interesting year in like general. I mean, this channel started actually being used for good reasons, right? With a what do I call like 4 uploads a week in a schedule? I try to get 7, but it never happens.
Insanity.
Insanity. You're not wrong. We covered this year. What all do we cover? We covered
Nisekoi.
and that was it because that's all that's out on the channel right
Steel
now.
Ball Run will be coming soon. Which by the time you hear this video, I don't know if they'll be out or not yet.
No. It really was supposed to come out yesterday with all the holidays. I just moved it back a week and put in Bleach.
Yeah.
And Chainsaw Man, and of course, this will be the last video of the year. Tomorrow will be the big manga haul.
Okay.
We actually bought some manga from Japan this year.
Yep.
Right? That was a fun thing to happen.
We bought a ton of manga because we did 2 orders this year.
Yeah, we did 2 orders, and we may need to wait a little while for the next one.
Oh yeah, the next one I'm probably gonna do maybe around
I'd say we do it like March, April.
April, May-ish. Yeah.
It's gonna be a little while though.
And we'll definitely invest.
But we bought a crap ton of stuff. I mean, the first order we bought what?
About 30 volumes.
30 volumes.
And then the second time we bought almost 100.
we bought 80.
Yeah.
Right. It was insanity.
Now, granted, this was split among like 5 friends.
Yeah, this was split among 5 of us. Granted, me and Jade here were the 2 donors of it.
We definitely made up about 60%. Yeah.
And the other guys, but like, all right, I'll get like 2 things. I'll get like 5. I want in series. Oh man, it sold out. I'll just get a CD.
Yeah.
Right. While me and Jade are like, all right, we don't want space in our houses.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there anything you're looking forward to next year?
We're saving that for another video.
Another video? Damn. Okay. All right.
Because I don't want to make this too long. But yeah, 2022 was a really good year. Manga had a lot of stuff going on in it. Shonen Jump, especially, being the eye focus on Shonen Jump, and anime had a lot of really good stuff too. And say what you will about certain series. I mean, Bleach came back and everything. It was a good year overall. would you give a rating for this year of how it was in general on a life scale?
I would give it a good 8 or 9. I mean, summer was rough, but I think that all the other seasons really made up for it. There were at least 2 or 3 anime that I was watching each season besides summer. So during summertime, I caught up.
There
on a lot
was
of
about
older stuff.
one anime I was watching each season, and that was about Gintama. And then here in the last season, I ramped up and said, "Oh boy, I'm watching Digimon Adventure again too."
All right.
Yes, that was 2022. And with that, we're signing off. And if you watch this on the day of, Happy New Year.
Yep.
And Merry Christmas never got said in the video, so
Yeah.
here it is about a week late.
See you guys.
Yep, see you guys. This will be Glowplasma231 out.